Hello and welcome to Howard's Cave of Wonder. I'm Chris, aka Howard Blues, welcoming you to my cave and my hobby journey and experience, because that's kind of what this is. It's a bit of a vlog about my hobbying, and right now, not doing a lot of hobbying. I keep repeating this in these videos. If you've noticed that there's been kind of 3 that came out in real rapid succession, although this is the 3rd one, it's probably the 2nd one released. Because timey-wimey editing. I'm saying this a lot because I don't know what people will click on in that, but I've been doing a lot of these little crowdsourcing videos, and I'm actually doing a bunch in one night because we're expecting our 3rd child. And there's been a lot of around the house things that need to happen and getting ready for her. And so I have not been doing a lot of hobby stuff. So this is something that I could do to at least keep the channel going and have some content and hopefully bring some people in. So if you're new, I don't just do crowdfunding reviews. I do a lot of times, and this is kind of my crowdfunding angle. Usually I'm at the desk and I'm trying to paint something, and it's just chat about the hobby in general, whether it's painting miniatures, collecting board games, all that sort of stuff. But I wanted to talk about a crowdfunding campaign that at the time of me recording this, it's like 2 days away before it launches. But I feel the need to do it because I have some experience. And by that, I mean, I've backed this group before, and I thought that there's more I could show on this. So what is it? Well, you know because of the thumbnail, but it is from the makers of Dungeons and Lasers. It is their Porthaven Kickstarter. So let's dive into it, take a look, and see what we think about it. So here we go. So Dungeons and Lasers Porthaven by Archon Studios. So as I said, this is coming out while Archon Studios Dungeons and Lasers is known probably more for its terrain. This is kind of the second really big, at least that I'm aware of, Kickstarter where they're doing miniatures. And the thing that sucked me into this particular one is the miniature that's on the screen now and is gone, but we'll see it again. But is this wonderful macaw figure. I think it's awesome. It's just so different from anything else that is out there. There it is again. So that we'll talk more about it, but it's gorgeous. So let's dive into this. And I haven't done this one. I mean, they have been advertising this campaign for a while. I've seen it almost daily for like 3 months, maybe even longer. And I haven't done anything with it because the longest time the preview page was nothing, and then they slowly started revealing kind of the different quarter sets, and only recently, right as we're getting into it, are they getting into the real here's info. So it's part of why this is so close to the launch date. But to dive into this, sail the deep with 4 core sets packed with miniatures, port props, a giant ship, and exciting stretch goals. So, and again, with these kind of previews, you get to see some comments. So, will there be multiple figureheads so we can choose what's on the front of the ship? It would be a nice way for us to customize the ships. Thanks. I won't consider supporting this until Caves has delivered. I imagine this campaign will still be open at the point, so maybe not an issue. Yeah, I think it'll do the same. Maybe late pledge. So people who are kind of, because yeah, Dungeons and Lasers Caves ended not that long ago. I like that they put 1 to 6 players when it's really just kind of miniatures. I don't know what that means in this. Anyway, Porthaven. So it launches April 1st at the time of recording. And all hands on deck embark on an epic journey with Dungeons and Lasers in Porthaven, a bustling harbor town. Sail the deep, misty waters of Deuslair with 4 core sets packed with miniatures, port props, a giant ship, and exciting stretch goals. So it's a little adventure. So here's our as I said, our follower gift. So if you followed before this launched, you can get the Macaw Griffin for free. It's the miniature that brought me into this because I was like, that is pretty cool. So yeah, we'll see the free Macaw Griffin with their first pledge. This exotic subspecies of griffin boasts the head of a parrot and vibrant feathers from the tropical island it hails from, known for its cheeky banters like its smaller cousins. This sassy creature is both charming and ferocious, always ready to defend its treasure and snacks with a sharp beak and claws. And then they have a returning backer gift. So if you backed any of their previous campaigns, you can get this Chimera. So that's cool. Yeah. So Chimera. It's fun. And then a crowdfunding bonus is the Aboleth, and it will be following you during your journey. That's ominous. It's free with your first pledge. So if you pledge during the campaign, you get an Aboleth, which is pretty cool. So 3 kind of really, like, if you've backed anything from them, I mean, yeah, some large things for not too much. Visit Porthaven. What will you find? Well, the big thing that they're toting is this enormous playable ship. Set sail with this mighty vessel, a fully playable deck and lower deck with an organic grid, optional customization bits, fabric sails, haunt the seas with a ghost ship in clear plastic, or get it pre-painted. Take this ship to your pledge. So it is estimated 70 centimeters in length, 55 centimeters in height. So pretty good. I will not be getting this ship, even if I were to pledge. I'm just going to say it now. Reaper in Bones 5 also had ships, and I have 2 of them. I would hold one up and show it to you, but it's still in the box, and it's holding up this blue light. So I get that, then my blue light falls over. So I'll put up a picture. But I do have 2 of them. So, and then there's 4 core sets with plenty of props, but there's Tavern, Bazaar, Port, and Ship Crew. So, and some stretch goals. Expect many, many useful props, scatter terrain, more thematic miniature sets, and big fishies too. So, more stuff to come. And Animal Companions are back. One of Archon's bestsellers continues. Get ready for new pet companions and mimics for your session. So some really cool things like this steering wheel mimic and this anchor mimic back here, and then just some different animal companions. It's cool. And then Tales from the Misty Waters. This book provides all the tools needed to craft your own adventure-filled campaigns or bite-sized adventures on mystical islands and the high seas. It offers a comprehensive guide to the life of sailors and introduces simple yet deep mechanics for sea travel, chases, and battles between ships, designed for 5e and other systems. So why back it now? Because there will be stretch goals and special offers. So if you back now, you get to collect free goodies. Crowdfunding discounts. Save up to $245 compared to the MSRP. So, and that's not including the stretch goals. But so, yeah, there's money to save if you do it. Superior quality at budget-friendly rates. Enjoy top-notch hips, miniatures, and save money. Sure, plus you can use stretch pay. Early delivery. We manufacture the ship everything from our in-house factory in Poland. Delivery on time, guaranteed delivery before time, highly probable. So why is it so awesome? These are made for painting. From concept to sculpting, every detail is crafted with painters in mind. These miniatures are designed to be a joy to paint, highlighting details that make them stand out. Easy to assemble. Our experienced engineering team ensures that these minis are simple to assemble, so you can get them game ready quickly. Until they show a couple of chairs or a chair being done. High quality hips, no more 3D prints or PVC. Replace them with durable, high impact polystyrene. That's what HIPS stands for. combining quality, strength, and aesthetics for an exceptional gaming experience. 5e compatible. So again, if you go with the book, everything is able to go into 5e. And it's the next chapter in Deuslair. With our 5th edition of Dungeons & Lasers, we introduced the unique fantasy world of Deuslair. Dive deeper into the realm with the bestiary RPG campaign, cave sets, and scenario. Explore brand new naval adventures in the Porthaven RPG supplement to the ever-growing world. Etc. And so let's look at some of the miniatures. And here you can see they always have this chart. So it's kind of an interesting way to show their stuff. So you have from Whiz Kids, which they say is, got the best 5e compatibility because of its close ties. Reaper Miniatures, which has a great cost per mini. Games Workshop, the quality and the durability, and they say that they have all 3 of those in kind of what they do. So, and yeah, you can see kind of the scale. So it's maybe a little bit bigger than Reaper Miniatures, which a good chunk of my collection is Reaper Miniatures. So, yeah. The enormous playable ship. That's a fun graphic. Look at it rocking back and forth. So, again, I'm not super interested in this, but here's customization bits, fully playable decks, fabric sails. I mean, it's a nice looking ship, but I kind of feel like I got one of that. And they have a ghost ship in clear plastic, so you could also have a ghost ship. Ooh. Pretty cool. Corsets. So let's look at these. Tavern. Drop by the tavern after a long voyage. So this is coming with 24 minis, 97 props, 4 bases of 50 millimeter, and 28 bases of 25 millimeter. So you can see, you kind of have it set up, and all of this yellow is the miniatures they are offering. So the tavern crew, yeah, we got, and there's a nice assortment here. I have already kind of looked at these, but your male human bartender, female dwarf server, female orc waitress, frogman cleaner. So a nice assortment of the different races, and kind of doing different things. But female infernalkin singer, male earth musician, female minotaur musician, male human musician. So you kind of got a whole band going. And then you got your adventurers, and again, a good mix. So male human wizard, male dwarf paladin, female elf warrior, female satyr rogue, male rogue bard, male gnome artificer, female halfling druid, female human cleric. It's a decent mix. It's not everything under the sun, but it's pretty good. I do like this male gnome artificer who's dropping the hammer and then kind of floating up there going, whee! It's just a fun pose. The tavern patrons, we got a human scoundrel, a woman of the night, drunk male dwarf, debauched human priest, sitting male elf patron, passed out male human, risky gambler, sleeping man, and then we have our train. So 4 tables, 4 bar stools, 20 chairs, 4 piles of firewood, 16 barrels, 2 barrel racks, 4 kind of mugs and pots, 4 of each kind of thing, 4 beds, 4 dressers, 4 more stools, 4 more end tables, 4 lamps, a tavern counter, a game set, that's kind of cool, a shelf, kitchen props, quest board, fireplace, living quarters, chest, and a globe. So all sorts of cool stuff. Then we go down to the ship crew. What we do with the drunken sailor. So the ship crew core set comes with 30 minis, 32 props, 4 bases of 50 millimeter, and 28 bases of 25 millimeter. So we got our crew with Captain Stormbeard von Keller and this Beepo first mate. This figure is awesome. I like the shark jaws around it. I like that I like whatever the hell this spiked ball thing is. That's kind of cool. That's just fun. And Morgan, the Terror of the Sizzling Edge, pretty good. These are some really nice pirates, I will say. So our privateers, they're just all kind of named privateer, but we have some humans. I like this guy who is juggling bombs. That's kind of cool. Yeah. We got all sorts of kind of just fun things. We've got some half orcs. And again, I like a look a lot. They remind me a lot of kind of a little bit more of like a World of Warcraft almost kind of feel to them, which is all right. We got some dwarves. I like this fish folk guy. Of course, I'm a sucker for a minotaur. So I like there's a variety of it. Then we got some auxiliaries. This guy's cool. This shark humanoid laborer, which is just interesting. He's a shark, but he's got both a peg leg and a hook hand. Yeah, but we got a cook. Just kind of some other fun crewmen. You know, the navigator, a surgeon, a musician, carpenter, broken powder monkey. I mean, they're good. They're nice. They're characterful. Terrain, we got crates, we got cannons, we got bunk beds, ship chests, in various numbers though. And then we got the bazaar. 27 minis, 89 props, 4 bases. You get the idea. It's kind of the same. 4 bases of 50 millimeter, 28 bases of 25 millimeter. Why is the horse on the roof? Just why? Why is this horse up here? Okay. Questions. So here we got a bunch of traders, and these are kind of cool. Just because, again, it's some different races doing different kind of things, and that's kind of fun. So everything from the human wizard, the human wizard, the dwarf farmer, half orc weaponsmith, human potion seller, halfling jeweler, elf bowyer, gnome engineer, human tailor, and not a lot of character pieces, but then a lot of not a lot of character pieces, but a lot of them like the scatter train. So different things to hang from the stalls, several market stalls, wooden signs, food boxes, potion maker props, weaponsmith props, wizard props, armor props, engineer props, tailor props, just a lot of that. And then we got customers. Everything from an argumentative customer, stuck-up rich kid, mother with child, household butler. If the household butler is a customer, I doubt that he's going to the market like that. I just saying. Mike, the paying customer, indecisive woman, satisfied customer, lovebirds. Okay. The customers don't really excite me. The townsfolk are pretty good, though. The religious preacher, the pickpocket, the thief, the inquisitor. Those are all good. The goblin lad. I love the Tengu plague doctor. One of my favorites that I've seen in this. So I also like that it has a shell games camera. I mean, there's just some really nice things that you don't see out in the miniature world all that often. And then 2 wagons and horses. And we have the port, which has 19 minis, 50 props, and that same number of bases. So what do we got here? So we got some port NPCs, human dock worker, goblin currency merchant, female Infernalkin tax official, Infernalkin warehouse manager. We got some, half-orc dock worker, cargo inspector, a couple of dock enforcers. Those guys look kind of cool. There's a dwarf fisherman, human harbor master. He looks pretty good. And then a port syndicate game. And these guys look great. I love this badge roll. But I really like this dwarf and just kind of this weird hat face mask thing he's got going. It's pretty cool. The gnome warlock member is pretty good too. And just kind of some more syndicate members, some orc ones. Which the nice thing about this is, while they do have a slight port theme to them, I mean, you could use them elsewhere in other campaign settings. And then our scatter terrain, we got some nets, bags, harpoons, 3 wooden cranes. Those are pretty cool. A couple fish racks, a couple anchors, 3 crates, 2 skiffs. That's pretty cool. And there's some different little conversion things, so you can make it an elven skiff or a dwarven skiff. I love how the orcish skiff just looks like somebody drew it on. It's great. So the pledges. So there's the Swabby. It's $99. It gets you 1 core set and all unlocked regular stretch goals. $100 for 1 core set. Ouch. Ouch. I get that with stretch pay, you know, it's like for 6 months of 16, yeah, but it, ouch, $99 for some of those, like, that's rough. $179, save $19. You get 2 core sets or the playable ship instead. So you can get it pre-painted by adding on $99, or the ghost ship with an additional $49. You also unlock not only the regular stretch goals, but the super stretch goals, which super stretch goals, they do some larger monsters and things like that. Sailor, $229 gets you 3 core sets, or 1 core set and a playable ship. Same things. First Mate gets you 4 core sets, and then or 2 core sets of the ship. Again, kind of that stuff stays the same. Or you can get Pirate Lord, which gets you 4 core sets, and the playable ship. And again, that's $349. We're not even into shipping and such for this. So, and then they kind of have it as a summary. So it can get pretty pricey to get it all in. And then there's add-ons. So, I mean, if you just want a pre-painted, yeah, I mean, you can see kind of what those costs are. They have some of their scenery stuff that you can get. You could just get some of the add-ons stuff if you wanted. So if you want another market stall or ship scatter terrain or any of that. The book, if you wanted that RPG book, it's going to be another $30. And then they have some more add-ons. So if you wanted, say, this giant tavern for $129 so that you had someplace to put all your tavern stuff, or there's a 2-door mansion. But they have some of their past. These are some of the super stretch goals from the last campaign: the dragon turtle, flying pirate ship, the giant kraken, the Valor, skeletons and imps. So some of these are some of their past kind of campaigns and things. Of Sea and Thunder from the Deuslair and Goblins and Spiders. So yeah, a lot of their older stuff. And then we get into the reviews that you would find. That. So showing off some of the, which is kind of cool. It really is kind of cool that you get to see some of the, like, the mold, and here's our building, and here's our production line, you know, and then, you know, there's this roof. So it's just kind of cool that they added those pictures. I thought that was really kind of a cool thing. So, and then this is kind of showing the history of, you know, the first Dungeons and Lasers was in 2019. They've done some other miniatures, although I was pretty sure that they always kind of came with a legacy or some scenery sets. But the world is Deuslair, which was in 2023, which I did back, which we'll talk about here in a second. So, and then yeah, some of the stuff that people have painted. We're just gonna go. So that's the campaign. So that's that. It's a lot of stuff. And I did back this in the past. I did back Deuslair. I'm probably saying that terribly wrong. I'm trying my best. Back then. And so let's take a look. This is part 1 of 3 of the core set. It's never been open. It's still shiny. Let's take a look. Let's just look at it as, hey, what do you get? And some general thoughts on it. So, yeah. But you weren't expecting a lot of things out of this. So as we open it up, it's actually sprues. And a lot of sprues in this. Something up. So here we go. And you can see, I know the camera's going to want to focus on me, but you can see some pretty nicely detailed pieces on here. They look really good. The one thing that I will say, it's always a little alarming. There's no manual. Oh, what are you? Here's a bit of sprue. Back in you go. There's no real manual in there with it, but they do have a website where you can go to download the assembly guide. Yeah, I mean these are interesting looking pieces. There's some kind of fun things. The beginnings of a tree man right there. So, but overall, pretty a real nice quality. I mean, and they are, yeah, that same. It feels like a very similar plastic to what you would find with a Games Workshop. But these are very nice overall. Like a good wood grain and such. If there's one thing that I'm just saying, and I haven't opened all the boxes. You just saw me open the first one here. The one thing that is maybe a little on the alarming side as I look through it. Yeah. So far, I have only found one base associated with it. Which is interesting. There's only the one base, and I'd have to look back at the campaign. But even on the back, all of this stuff has bases on it, and it matters because these are all what seem to be nicely sculpted bases. And there's one. I've only seen one. So I don't know if because this was the core set came in 3 boxes, it could be that they're in there. But just on the first look. But that said, these do look really, really nice. And if I had more time, I would clip one out and try and put one together. But because there's no instructions, even that, I'll do that. So I will try to maybe take one of these with me to my job, because during my lunch breaks I sometimes assemble miniatures. Maybe I'll assemble something and we can maybe then see how do they glue together in that. So watch on the channel. We'll try to come back and follow up with a little report on these, since I haven't done one of these, but I did. Kind of cool to see. So that's Porthaven. Am I in? That's always a good question. I may be in. How much? I don't know. The truth being is none of the core sets really fully excite me. There's just, I don't need a bunch of new terrain. Not every miniature in every set really thrilled me. If I do go in, I would probably go in for the ship crew one. I liked that set probably the most out of all of them. And so the ship's crew would probably be the one that I tend to jump on and at least be in for that. But still, $100 for that one kit, I just don't know. That's a lot. And I get, you're getting 30-some miniatures and all of that. And it's of a really nice looking quality. We'll see how it glues up and assembles. That'll be maybe a little bit later view. I truthfully actually hoped to have something assembled and ready to talk about that particular aspect of it. But as I said at the beginning, family, we were more focused on kind of home projects and some things like that. So I just didn't get around to it in time. But I will give it a try so I can report back on that. But overall, yeah, at $100 for a single core set, I don't know. I think that price might put me out. We'll see. Even with stretch pay, that's a lot. And as I said, about to have a third child, there's some costs there. So we'll see. But let me know. Let me know what you think. Have you backed Dungeons and Lasers before? What are your thoughts on it? What are your thoughts on this campaign and the cost? I'd love to hear kind of your guys' thoughts and feedback on that. And with that, it's late. I need to go to bed. So I'm glad I could get kind of all this out there. We'll try and get back to some regular project content in the future. If you checked this out and you made it all the way to this part, I do thank you. Thank you for the time. Thank you for the click. And if you enjoyed this enough to subscribe, thank you very much. Greatly appreciated all of that. As I said, small-time YouTuber doing this mostly to keep myself engaged in the hobby. It's just part of the fun. And hopefully inspire some other people to do the hobby as well. So always glad to have all of you around. So thank you. And with that, hopefully we will catch all of you back here in the cave again next time. Good night, everybody.